Welcome back, everyone, to episode 15. The topic today is the motivation for Daisy behind artificial intelligence, and I think broadly, maybe an opportunity in AI, and talk specifically about retail in this example, and want to share some slides with you that kind of tells the story and the possibilities and how we can help address some societal issues. I think especially now, given the challenge with price inflation over the last couple of years, and a lot of the concerns I know in Canada have been around pricing and retail and food purchasing specifically, really challenging households' ability to make ends meet. And so I wanted to kind of talk about how AI can address that. Now, our goal in Daisy is to use AI to change the world for the positive. That's generally what everyone hopes for. And also a lot of negative press about the negative things that could happen. But today, I just want to focus on the positive. Imagine a potential future where AI can improve our lives. We've known over the last 40 years that things have been declining in terms of household disposable income and our ability to continue to, live great, prosperous lives. But imagine a world where household income could grow at 10% a year, compounded annual growth rate over the next 40 years. Imagine the reason that you took a job, that the number one reason was the satisfaction of the job itself, that the nature of work is why you picked a job, not the fact that you needed to make ends meet. So imagine that household income grew and wealth in all of the households grew, and that you worked because you loved the job that you did. That's the motivation. In contrast, the reality of today is that disposable household income in the G20 countries has been declining for the last 40 years at negative 7%. And I know we feel it. It feels that over time we continue to get poorer and poorer, and our ability to stretch our dollar is getting harder and harder these days. And it's especially hard after the pandemic, with the supply chain causing prices to go up and inflation has been very high. And today, this survey says that the fifth reason you take a job is employment satisfaction. It's more important about compensation is the number one reason. You need a job to pay the bills. Certainly that's a valid reason to take a job, but wouldn't it be great if you loved the job? But today, the fifth reason you take a job is because you love the job. And so this is what we believe, that AI can change this and turn this around, and let's make the world a better place. Technology today is already changing the nature of work, and we've seen technology being implemented around the world. There's a lot of jobs that are at risk from automation. We see from anywhere from 25% to more than close to 50% of jobs are at risk of significant change at the very least, or full automation at the very worst. And we see, 5 to 10% jobs could be completely automated. We've seen a lot of concern from ChatGPT really impacting creative content to simple administrative documentation tasks to legal contracts. These are the types of jobs at risk, and where Daisy is helping with planning, decisioning, and retail. That could change the nature of retail merchandise planning work, as well as in insurance. We're impacting fraud detection and adjudication, so that could change the nature of the investigation and adjudication and underwriting work. So there are changes that are going to come, and we already see that in today's world. We see technologies automating both simple tasks and medium routine tasks. Not to call out McDonald's. You walk into a McDonald's, there's now an automated ordering system, where there used to be a lot of POS terminals and a human being there that you would go place your order. Now we're seeing a hybrid of that. Every company is trying to look for automation, and we see mostly low skilled tasks and medium routine tasks. They're the ones that are really being completely automated, where more of the high complexity tasks are the ones that are not yet being automated. So it's kind of medium routine and some medium non-routine tasks that are at danger of automation. I guess if we're looking at the low paying jobs being automated, that's a concern for a lot of people who don't have necessarily the skills and capabilities to transition to this new world that's more complex using AI. I think that poses a concern. I think the stock market is a great predictor of what's likely going to happen in industries like retail. 20 years ago, stock trading was a human-led exercise. Human-led trading, you saw stock market floors with the people yelling, waving pieces of paper. Today, roughly 70% of all stock market trading is computer trading with human oversight. And what's the nature of the stock market? There's a highly sought after commodity, which is a stock. that's limited availability, and really efficient trading is beyond human ability. That's why we've gone to 70% computer trading, and stocks, bonds, other financial instruments are highly sought after commodities with limited availability, and that's why we trade them. And there's a risk management need behind that as well for companies and financial institutions. So that model, migrating from mostly human-led processes 20 years ago to a world today where it's mostly computer traded, is a model that I think will happen in many industries. If we look at retail today, well, what is retail? Retail is that there's a highly sought after need, which is shelf space and advertising space in retail. These are highly sought after, limited availability commodities. So, and there's a trade happening between retail merchants and the suppliers of goods, the consumer packaged good vendors, and really doing this efficiently, deciding what goods to put on the shelf, what prices to charge, what products to advertise and promote. This is really beyond human ability, again, because the volume of data, the hundreds of thousands of items, the millions of consumers, the thousands of stores, the millions of price points. This is all beyond human ability to optimize and achieve maximal efficiency. So if the financial world is a model that where it's gone from completely human-led to mostly computer-led, I think we're in that same transition in retail. And I think you can make this argument for many, many industries as well, that this is what the promise of AI is, to take what's been beyond human ability and use computers to do that, which does pose challenges for the people that do the jobs today. But the retail landscape has also changed. So what's behind this change? E-commerce is growing, right? E-commerce is taking a share because consumers want more convenience, more personalization that's easier through the e-commerce channel. During the pandemic, because we weren't going to stores as much, this really educated a new set of consumers that e-commerce was the way to go. And consumers are expecting faster, smarter, more relevant retail based on their online experiences. And online experiences on our mobile apps, we have these amazing apps that we know are fun to use, that are very personalized, very easy and convenient. And so consumers, the young people today, are looking for those similar experiences in all of their interactions with companies that they do business with. And retailers want to get more efficient, want to lower costs because the supply chain costs are increasing, the cost to service customers are increasing, the e-commerce is still a difficult channel for retail. This is pushing profitability. So retailers are looking for ways to be more efficient and automated as well. And so these decisions, millions of promotional pricing decisions have to be made every week. And so the challenge of retail is more and more complex. This requires new processes, requires new human skills, requires new capabilities, more consumer-centric culture. And I think only technology can do this. To win in this landscape requires more merchandising automation, more decisions to be made by computers to help with this growing challenge that is beyond human ability today. But this doesn't mean we replace the people. Who are the people? Merchants are the lion tamers, right? If AI is the lion, merchants are still the lion tamer. They're still the boss. They're in control. They're dictating what the lions do, what the show that's being put on, right? Human beings are great at the strategy and should always be the boss of AI, right? The merchants set the strategy. They decide what categories are strategic to our business. What are the periods of the year that we should invest more in? What are the rules around product pricing? Should we be a high-low retailer versus an everyday low-price retailer? Should I have paper circulars or electronic circulars? How many pages should my circular be? Should I be doing more on e-commerce? What's the marketing mix between all my different channels? These are strategic considerations that the people can choose. The people who run the business can choose. The AI is great at the gory details, the computational details that require analysis of millions of transactions, millions of decisions, but the human being sets that strategy. And this is what humans are great at, owning the strategy and let the computer take care of the gory details. The human is the lion tamer. So we're not saying to get rid of people. Let the people do the strategic thinking. Let the computers do what computers do well. And the merchants can oversee the AI recommendations. So if we see a flyer here, the merchants could say, oh, oh, we can review that, say, yeah, that the bacon, that's a good choice. Oh, we got more funding on the toilet paper, so we can actually lower the price point. The Maxwell House coffee, that's a great one. Can't do grapes this week because there was a drought in California that affected supply. We can't get to that price point, so we've got to swap it out, right? So the merchant can oversee the AI's promotional recommendations in this particular example. But better decisions are invisible. Which one of these is AI designed? Is it to the one on the left or the right? Can you tell the difference? AI is not crazy. It's nothing to be afraid of. So we think that AI is this three-headed hydra. It's not really. Which one is AI designed? Well, the one on the left is. All the items are green. If we were to green, yellow, red the decision, the one on the right is a human-led one. And we see a couple of red items. The salmon and the Lunchables pack are less effective. And so the AI would make all green decisions. In fact, the promotion on the left did significantly better financially in the particular week than the one on the right. So AI doesn't do anything crazy. With the human setting the appropriate strategy and the guardrails, we get improved promotions and merchandise plans that are better than what a human being can accomplish on their own. So the human being is the boss, reviewing, making the decisions, and setting the strategy is the way of the world. So change management is difficult. The human beings, resisting this. I've been doing this for 30 years. A computer could never replicate what I do. And I would have made those recommendations anyways. These are some of the things we see. And obviously there's a fear of being replaced. And that's not the intention of any of this technology, is not to replace the humans, but to find a hybrid way of working together. And we know that the AI can do things that people can't. We've seen from our AI examples with clients is that prior to the AI, if we overlap the AI's decisions with the human beings' decisions, that prior to AI existing, there's maybe only a 20% overlap on average with the decisions that AI makes and that the human beings make. And then when we implement the AI, there's not a lot of overlap. AI is doing 80% different than what the people used to do. That's what we see. And we've seen that even when we turn the AI on and off, what the human beings are being able to retain is very little. There's very little learning that can be transferred because it's so complex. All these halo patterns, the human beings just can't see and replicate that. So we've been able to turn on and off the AI and observe that there's very little retention. And so the AI is doing something that is beyond human capability. This is what we're observing with our existing customers. The science is doing this computational capability, analyzing those millions of combinations, millions of decisions, consumers, hundreds of thousands of products, billions of patterns, thousands of stores, again, all beyond human ability. And we see this at every customer, that there's different level of capability, but the AI consistently sees something that the human beings don't. The goal is to build the next generation of businesses. In retail, in the 1900s, there was independent retailers. Big box chains started to come out in the 50s and 60s. In the 90s and 2000s was e-commerce retailers. And tomorrow is going to be AI-empowered retailers, right? AI integrated with merchandise planning. That's the future. This is what the promise of AI is, to integrate technology into these great businesses to help make decisions beyond human ability. And this can be done in every industry, not just retail, not just insurance, right? Let AI do what AI is good at, which is computing tasks. Let people do what people are good at, what we enjoy, which is interacting, strategy, making decisions where there is no quantitative data or absence of data, and divide the world in two. Let's elevate humankind to be the boss and be the boss of the AI. Let AI do what AI has always been good at, which is computing, what computers are good at. Computers have always been able to add numbers faster than people. And if we do this, I believe this will lead to a better future. By making companies more efficient, helping them make better decisions, we can lower the prices of products. Smart companies invest in price and innovation and ways to service consumers better. That will lower prices and will lower the cost of living, will create more annual household disposable income. If we do this in all industries, not just retail and banking, insurance, government, healthcare, telecommunications, in all industries, we can make companies efficient, make them able to lower and offer their services at better prices. Then we can lower the cost of living for humanity, increase disposable household income across the world. And if we elevate humans to take them out of the drudgery of these tasks that are near near impossible for people and let us do what we're good at, then maybe the job itself will be the reason we take the jobs, will change the nature of work. We believe AI can lead to this better future. And that's what the reality is. Let's invest in AI to help make jobs easier, to use AI where people aren't doing the job today with things that are beyond human ability. We don't want to replace people. We want to create this hybrid workforce where technology is helping people do better and helping companies be profitable, but deliver lower cost, more innovation to consumers so that we can turn around this trend of declining household income and trend in job dissatisfaction. Hopefully that gives you a view of what's possible, a little more practical examples that maybe the world is talking about with the examples I gave in retail. And again, as always, happy to talk more, follow up if you have questions or comments or want to drill more into this. As always, follow us on Spotify and YouTube. Thanks so much.